Are electric vehicles the future? Let us talk about that. As an automobile engineer, all things related to motorized vehicles are of interest to me. What I find especially fascinating at the present juncture is the way the auto industry is changing and transforming. Here in India, the demand for cars is on the rise, and at the same time, we find electric vehicles making a foray into both four-wheelers and two-wheeler sector. And in this change from IC engines towards the EVs, it seems that the car industry the world over is going through a churn of sorts. So what is really happening? Let us look at the new technologies which are now emerging. Technologies which some time back were considered to be niche and were used only by select companies are now being adopted by all as mainstream. For instance, owning a hybrid automobile has now become more or less commonplace. There are a large number of such models available from many companies. These cars are running on the internal combustion engine, which is being assisted by an electric motor. But what truly seems to be changing is the emergence of the pure electric vehicle. While earlier pure electric vehicles were being produced by only a few companies, now mainstream companies are coming out with a pure electric version of even some of their best selling models. So, how does one determine where this changing environment is headed? If you look at this, you will find that a very large number of mainstream car companies are now investing hugely into developing the electric vehicle technology and to improving it so as to become competitive in the market. This massive investment is nudging the automobile market towards an EV future. It increasingly appears that the idea of electric vehicles is something which is now amongst us, and it is emerging and getting reflected in various forms. If you look at the two-wheeler industry, it can be noticed that alongside the mainstream companies, a large number of startups have emerged which are offering pure electric two-wheelers. There is an ease with which new companies are able to start up and give competition to established automobile companies. There would be many factors influencing this trend, but it appears that one of the main reasons is the simplicity of the electric motor, which is now replacing the internal combustion engine. The internal combustion engine has been there for a century, but the challenge with it is that a vertical movement of pistons in an engine has to be converted through a crankshaft into a rotational movement. Another issue is the range of speed which the internal combustion engine offers. This range is insufficient to cover the entire speed range which is needed by the vehicle's wheels, which are being driven by the engine. So we have to bring in a gearbox and step up or step down the gears in order to cover the entire range. This brings in the need of a clutch, essentially losing the simplicity of a mechanism. On the other hand, the electrical motor, which while being simple, is able to give us a torque curve, which the combination of the internal combustion engine, the clutch, and the gearbox arrangement can only aspire to achieve. So, in the electric motor, we have a simple driving engine which is giving the best possible torque curve and which is more or less covering the entire range of speed which the driven wheels of the vehicle need. This simplicity of the engine, the electric motor, is making it possible for startups to build competing pure electric vehicles. Once you get the engine and the transmission simplified, things start falling into place. The fact is that technology for manufacturing electric motors is well stabilized, and this implies that startups can source these motors easily. They do not have to go through a huge design and development cycle, which would be needed for developing an internal combustion engine. If the mainstream automobile companies take time to switch to pure electric vehicles and the flow of change is not fast enough, then in all likelihood, manufacturers may move ahead and create new markets which all companies will have to follow to remain relevant. Thus, in a way, compelling the mainstream automobile industry to move faster towards this change. A roadblock to the future of electric vehicles is the issue of lack of a proper infrastructure such as charging points. But even here, if you look at the world over, you will find every country moving in the direction of providing more charging points. It is remarkable that automobile companies are themselves taking interest in installing charging stations. Another main issue, the supply of batteries is likely to improve as companies invest in new battery manufacturing plants in anticipation of increased demand. Many companies are already setting up huge plants for this, and the prices of electric batteries have started showing some signs of becoming cheaper. Cheaper batteries will bring down the cost of pure electric vehicles. Better batteries will also lead to a better range. Another aspect is that as an individual consumer moving away from internal combustion engine to pure electric vehicle, there is a sort of exaltation in being able to contribute to the reduction of pollution, which remains a major problem in many large cities of the world. The consumer could possibly feel that by going in for an electric vehicle, they may be able to contribute towards the reduction of pollution. Of course, the internal combustion engine powered vehicle will be there for many vehicle applications which cannot be covered by pure electric vehicles. And there will also be a large number of hybrid vehicles. It does seem, though, that eventually, sooner rather than later, we will see a rise in the number of pure electric vehicles on our roads. Thank you for listening. We look forward to bringing more such episodes to you.